rubber roots again. So if you can hear me, welcome to another video. I'm just going to go somewhere, pop up, talk about all the mods I've got on the bike and the effect that I've noticed so far, or the effects that I've noticed so far from the different changes I've done. And I'm also going to let it cool down a bit, and then we'll take the, I don't know what I'm indicating, and I'll take the baffles out and see what that sounds like. Sounds awesome already, and it's nice to take it for a little run. But anyway, I'll see you on location. Hopefully it's all good for me to go where I want to go, because it looks like a nice little location to chat about the bike and what I've done to it and how it feels now and stuff like that. And we'll go for a little ride down the road right at the end with the Baffle out as I head home, as long as I can get to it. There we are on, I just only got neutral in. There we are on location. I don't know what's down there, just some more building for the business park or whatever. Ah, what a pity, I've closed it off a bit so you can't get right to it on the bike. But still, this is a good enough spot to sit and go over what I've done to the bike and what changes it's made for riding it. So here we are on location. This is St Andrew's Asylum, or St Andrew's Lunatic Asylum it's also known as. I've never looked around there before, I never really knew that it existed, if I'm honest. But it's a nice quiet spot just to do this, have a little look around and talk through the bike. And if I'm honest, I just done it all and then checked if I was still recording so I could stop it, get the baffles out, and then start recording again and start it up and take it for a quick ride on the way home. Checked and it weren't recording. So there we go, let's do it again, take two. So I've had this bike almost a year now, and it's took me all that time to purchase all the bits and pieces I put on it, because I don't work at the moment, so it takes me ages. It took me like 10 months to save enough money to trade my 125 in and get this bike. Plus I needed to borrow a little more. But I've got this now, that's all good, and it took me a year to buy all the parts. The actual first part I actually bought, because that's probably the cheap, well, not the cheapest actually, but I got the front sprocket because I knew I wanted to go one down on the front sprocket. But over the time I ended up getting that. I got Renfield bars, Renfield grips, bar end mirrors. I ended up finding a block off plate for the other mirrors, which was a bit of a pain, which we'll talk about in a sec. Did I say I got the fuel cap, got DNA performance filter, NGK iridium plugs, Scorpion end can, says red power on it, and I got AFAM chain and sprockets, black and gold chain, black rear sprocket. I got some stainless steel rear nuts as well. I mainly wanted to change them not to lose more weight, although I've lost quite a bit of weight on the bike because of that. The exhaust lost a lot, the original is very heavy, and the bars are lighter, plus the mirror's gone, and I've got a lithium battery on it as well, and we've got more people going past. Wait. But yeah, I've lost a bit of weight from that as well. But the original nuts were very filthy, so was the sprocket. It was actually black, the original sprocket, only because of oil on it, because this bike, when I got it, had a Scott oiler on it, and I knew straight away I wanted that off. I mean, even the nuts were all totally black from oil as well. You'll see that in the video where I change all that. Let's talk about it anyway, how the bike feels, what I've done to it. Exactly, we'll start from the first things I sort of done to it was what I fitted. I didn't necessarily buy them in this order, but I changed the Renfield bars, which are ultra low Renfield bars. I got Renfield grips. These are only like 30 odd quid, so relatively cheap. Grips are only a tenner. They're nice and grippy, of course, but these are super grippy grips. And side bar end mirrors are only a tenner as well. Had a bit of a problem with them when fitting, but I might do a video on how I managed to get them on nice and solid, so it was a bit of a pain because these bars are a lower diameter, internal diameter than standard bars, so the bits that come with this, which isn't great anyway, so some people usually go to other resorts to try and fit them anyway, but I might do a video on that while I fit the other one, because I might fit the other one, but I just blocked that off for now with a bit of Sugru, which looks like it's been pushed in a bit somehow, but still blocked it off. And obviously removed the original mirrors, and this will save a bit of weight. The bars are lighter than the original bars. Block off plates were a pain to get. The only ones I could find at first were in America, and they're like $40 odd or something like that, and that's before shipping. But I then found these ones, I think were in Belgium or somewhere like that, and they ended up only being a small cost. I can't remember exactly how much they were, but if I can find how much they were, I'll let you know. They're very cheap compared to those American ones. I think they probably were only like 12 to 15 pounds, something like that. And all it is a little metal plate. You get the little Allen bolts with it, and you just use the original nuts on the other side, and that sorts that out really nicely. I also got that. I'll cut this bit out if I've already covered it. Like I say, those people sort of like threw my mind a bit and lost my train of thought. But I've got this nice cheap CNC aluminium fuel cap, only about £13. And the reason I changed that was because the original's lock mechanism, nice and easy to get off, was a bit further up. They get a bit corroded after time. Aluminium does, even after a long time, if it's not maintained well enough. That's why what I do now with like the lock, I spray a bit ACF 50 on it and open it up slightly by just tipping the key into the slot that opens up, and just spray a bit in there, put the key in, work it about, just to keep that all working all nicely and prevent it from corroding. And underneath here, what I fitted next was a DNA performance filter and NGK iridium plugs. And I also, another thing what I done was put more preload on the rear suspension, which is obviously free. And I'll talk about everything, how everything felt afterwards in a moment. And obviously I've done the end can, which is the Scorpion Red Power. But yeah, that sounds awesome. You would have heard that already. I can always put a clip in here of me starting it on the side of the road, because I've done one for another video, so you'll hear that. And then I'm going to take the Baffle out soon, start it up, see what it sounds like. And I did talk about the chain sprocket, but did I say I was going -1 on the front? And that's what I'd done. That's the first thing I brought. Let's just move on, because I think I've covered everything. That's really thrown me. I don't want to start again, as I started again already, as I mentioned before. But the first thing I'd done, I'd ridden it after doing the bars, and automatically, because they're lower bars as well, and slightly wider than stock as well, it does make the bike feel better in the corners. So that does actually lift your confidence a bit when you're going around bends, whether you like to go fast around them or just normally at sort of speed limits and stuff like that. It still makes it feel a bit more steady, more planted or whatever, you know. It just makes you have a bit more confidence. But the main thing that done that for me was the preload on the spring on the rear, because I hadn't touched that at all until recently. And because I had a transplant a year ago in March, I've put a bit of weight on since then, so I decided I'll put more preload on and see how it feels. And I put it just one off the top. If you can see that, let me get down it. You can see there's one more setting to go to, but I thought I'd put it just one off the top. That goes all the way round to where it comes off there. So there's quite a few different settings. And I took it out after that, and again, another level round the bends and stuff. Feels so much nicer, so much plant, gives you much more confidence in the bends. So it's always a thing you ought to do if you can, is get your suspension set up for your weight, and it feels so much better. And then most recently, obviously, I fitted the air filter plugs, end can, and chain and sprockets with one tooth down. and the change. At first you don't really notice it. I was expecting it to be extra jerky, extra mental on acceleration, because I've gone one tooth down on the front, and that changes it a lot more than changing on the rear, and you'd have to go up teeth on the rear to increase acceleration and lower top speed, and the opposite to give you more top speed and lower acceleration. But how it is now with all those changes, much more freed up airflow because of the exhaust, frees it up a hell of a lot compared to the original, because that's got the catalytic converter in the original back box on this bike, baffles and all that in it as well. So that really sort of, compared to this, really frees up the flow, especially when I'll take the baffles out. That'll free it up a lot more. You'll see they're sort of like blocked off on the end and a load of holes on the side. Performance filter, the DNA performance filter, also frees it up a load from a stock foam filter. And the other thing was, my stock foam filter was filthy. That's probably on there from new, never cleaned or anything like that, I wouldn't have thought. So that's freed that up a load, so that's good. That made it feel a lot better. And these bikes are known between 2,000 and 3,000 RPM, or 1 to 3,000 RPM, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, whatever like that. They're known to be a little bit awkward to control because the fueling gets a bit jerky and not smooth, you know. And some people put, I think it's called the pairs system, get off my bike, fly, and they change some of the air pipes or block them off or something like that under here somewhere in the airbox. Don't know exactly what they do, but freeing up the airflow with the performance filter and this, that seems to have sorted that out totally. It just feels so much smoother, low down, so easy to ride. And like I said, I thought that was going to be much jerkier and everything by going down on the front sprocket, because that is quite a massive change on a 650 where they only have around 130 mile/h top speed, and that got the low end torque, low end to mid range torque anyway, so they're blisteringly fast up to a certain speed, 30, 40, 50 miles an hour. That's increased that now, but like I say, all these changes together just make it a much nicer, smoother bike to ride, but it's still faster as well, because obviously I've got more power and torque from the filter and exhaust anyway. Lost a lot of weight from that. The weight saving from the exhaust is immense, really. I don't know exactly what it is, but that's light as anything. When I was carrying it down in the box and everything, it was light as anything. Took the end can off the original, picked it up, and I was like, bloody hell, that is heavy. That was really heavy. I'm not sure how heavy it was, but very heavy. So I lost a fair bit of weight there. Taking these mirrors off would have saved weight as well. Plus Renfield bars are aluminium, so they save weight on the originals. And I also, obviously I've got the stainless steel nuts. They're going to save tiny amount of weight, but it all adds up. That's not why I got them though. Like I said, that's just to have nice clean ones which shouldn't go all scuzzy and stuff like that. But I also, underneath here, another thing I forgot to mention that I've got a lithium battery in there, and that's a lot lighter than the original. It's probably around 3 kilos lighter than the original battery, maybe 3.5 kilos lighter. So that's all awesome, and the bike feels so much better. If there's anything else you need to know or wonder about doing on your bike, oh yeah, I've got the levers as well, which you may have noticed, which actually say ER-6f on them, if they haven't worn off. Well, it has worn off a little bit, no, it's just the lighting. But they're kind of nice, and they're only about 20 quid from China. And yeah, bike feels so much better. So the one thing to do now, I'm going to take the baffle out. There's a little screw up the top, 5mm Allen key I believe. Just get some pin nose pliers, which I've got over there, and just pull it out. Hopefully it's cooled down a bit anyway. I've been there a little while now. Yeah, I can touch it now anyway. So I'll take that out and I'll be back with you. Well, here I am, I'm back. Just made myself laugh. Unscrewing this is a bit of a pain. It's not much to unscrew, but you can only move it a few mil at a time like this. I was getting it almost out and I was like, right, I'll do it one more turn and I'll try and get it out with my foot. Make myself laugh sometimes, my brain don't work right sometimes. But that's the screw out, and my hand's a little dirty. That's nothing too bad. And just get these pin nose pliers and I should be able to just put that out. Oh, look at that colouring. That's pretty sweet. Just try and make sure you can see that. Oh, even on the end, look at that all purpling on the end. Hopefully you can see that. I can't see where the camera is, but that's the Baffle. I was quite surprised. Oh, I forgot I could hold it with my hand. It's a little bit warm, so that's warmer than the rest of it, but up this bit, that's cooler. That's pretty cool what it is, but I was surprised to see that it did not have a hole there to let air through there still, because these holes are what makes a Baffle work. They could have just put a few more extra holes down here and had that opened up. Now it's still silence it. So I remember doing that at college actually, for one of the tutor's daughter's cars had the exhaust baffles had actually rusted away, so we made new ones for her and got the body shop to weld it in. You can still see there's a bit of baffle in there, but that's pretty much straight pipe it now. But where's my screw? Make sure I don't lose that. I'm going to actually just put these in my bag and we'll be back. We'll start it up and look at that. It's opened it up so much more, it should be really sweet. I'm going to put the screw and stuff in here. And this, I'm going to just sit there for now while it cools down. It's not super hot, that's hot. I've got a spider or something hanging from me. Right, no cameras, come to explore. Right, let's start this up for the first time without the baffles. Oh yeah. I wish I could pair it without the helmet on, but it already still sounds nice and loud, as it should do. Stand away from it a bit, just in case it's messing the audio up. Yeah, that's pretty sweet, mate. We'll take it for a little drive, see what it sounds like. It may even affect the power and torque very slightly more being like that, because that will be less restrictive than with the Baffle in as well. But even with the Baffle in, it's less restrictive than the stock, of course. Right in the middle window, I don't know if you can see that. There's a pigeon or something right dead in the middle of it. In some ways, it's kind of freaky. Cool, yes. Quite a massive difference there. Again. I might have to get some earphones, I think. Earphones, is that right? Earbuds. This is when we're going to start getting the pops probably now, I think. Especially once it's up to hill. Definitely sounds different. Got to try and leave my visor cracked a little bit, because I think that improves the audio, because this mic is so sensitive. I think even though it wasn't expensive, I think it's too good for motovlogging. Definitely another level again. There we go, we took that for a nice little rise, getting the revs up. Not fully probably, but it's going to take a little getting used to this. I think I might have to invest into some earplugs. When I'm really sort of like rolling on the throttle, it's given me some sort of resonance in the head, but it's definitely made it a different sounding beast. All future videos will be with the bike set up as it is. I won't be doing anything else to it now other than things I need to with consumables and stuff like that. So tyres will be a must before the next MOT at least. The front tyre is pretty much on the edge of legality. The rear has got quite a bit of tread, but I'll probably change both at the same time. I'm not sure if there's much more I will need to do to this before hopefully getting another bike in a year or two. Well, it'll be more like 2 years. So it'll take me quite some time to save up unless my circumstances change. Anyway, I hope the audio's been alright. I hope the exhaust is not too low so you can't hear me. And if you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a like. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you need any information, if you're thinking of doing anything like this to your bike, below in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe to see more. Oh, there you go, first proper pop. Probably needs to be run through a couple of times before that starts doing that properly. Anyway, I'll see you again in another video. Oh, there you go.